Welcome back to the very unofficial travel guides on YouTube. I'm Morgan, and last week I showed you around the very small, very boring Chicago Museum of Science and Industry. And if you don't understand the sarcasm in my voice, watch the video in the description below. But today we're gonna talk about cruise ships, or more specifically, how to get kicked off of one. Now, I know there are some obvious ways to get kicked off of a cruise ship, like vandalism or, stealing something, but I did some research and found 5 weird ways that you can get kicked off of a ship. Starting off with number 1, get really sick. All cruise ships have some kind of medical facilities on board, some more extensive than others, and some ships even offer kidney dialysis. However, if you happen to get really sick or somehow really hurt, like so bad that you would need hospitalization or maybe an operation, that ship is gonna leave you behind as soon as they can. Most of the time, they'll just transfer you to a hospital as soon as you get to the next port, but if it's bad enough, they may even have you picked up with a helicopter because they don't want anybody dying on the ship. It's not good for public relations. Number 2, refuse to go to the muster drill. Oh yes, a favorite of all cruise fans, the muster drill. If you don't know what it is, it's the safety briefing that happens basically in the first couple hours of the cruise. And as somebody who loves cruising, I have to say I know that it's totally necessary, but I also think that it's pretty annoying because it's just the last thing you want to be doing once you've just got on the ship, you just checked into your cabin, you just got your first margarita and you're on your way to the buffet, and then everything shuts down and you have to go to the muster drill. And it gives you the chance to, one time at the beginning of the cruise, see where you would have to go in case of an emergency. The whole thing usually takes less than a half an hour, but it just seems to go by so slow and take so much time, and I don't think anybody really likes to do it, but you have to do it. According to cruiseline.com, attendance is mandatory under International Maritime, what is it? I'll just read it here to you. Attendance is mandatory under International Maritime Organization regulations, and cruise lines can dismiss you from the ship if you fail to show up. There you go. Number 3, or if you're European, number 3. Solicit your own tours or excursions on board. One of the big money makers for the cruise lines are the official excursions that they offer on board. But not everybody likes to see the ports that way, and some hire external tour companies or just organize it on their own. There are several online cruise forums that you can register at where you'll find people who've booked a private tour, and there's maybe like 10 spots on the tour, but there's only 8 of them. So they'll make a post in the forum looking for 2 more people who maybe want to join the tour and are interested in splitting the cost. And that's all cool. I've done it before. I've been on both sides of that game. I've looked for people to join my tour, and I've also joined other people's tours, and it all works out fine. However, if you get caught on board the ship, like publicly advertising some kind of excursion that's not the official ship excursion, well, that's just not a good idea. You can get kicked off the ship for that because technically it's soliciting, which means trying to sell something. So just keep it on the down low. Does anybody even say that anymore? I do. Number 4, don't bring your documents. This is a perfect way to get kicked off of the cruise before you even get on the ship. There's a list of official documents that you absolutely need to bring with you before you can check in for your cruise, and it depends on where you're from, how old you are, and where your cruise is beginning and ending. And there are no exceptions. If you show up to a transatlantic cruise that's leaving from Miami and you don't have a passport with you, you are not getting on that cruise. And just try calling the embassy and explain to them that they need to make you a passport in the next 2 hours or you're gonna miss your cruise. It's not gonna happen, and you'll be stuck there waving goodbye to the cruise that you could have been on. Kicked off before it even began. Number 5, and I don't know, initially I found this kind of surprising, but apparently you can get kicked off of a cruise for insulting a crew member. I am all for this because I have seen people be so rude to cruise staff members, and it drives me crazy. Need I mention the cone lady? Watch the video linked in the description below to learn about this legendary cone lady that I ran into on the Norwegian epic. The captain of the ship is like the king, and the crew is then, you know, like his crew. If you're being abusive or belligerent to the captain or any of the crew, technically they can kick you off the ship. And if you are being abusive or belligerent to the captain or any of the crew, be it your cabin steward or the guy making ice cream cones in the buffet, as far as I'm concerned, you should be kicked off the ship. What do you think? Did any of these surprise you? Also, if you've ever witnessed somebody getting kicked off of a ship, please write it in the comments below because I want to hear about it. And tell me about any plans you might have for any upcoming cruises. We're planning a cruise at the moment. If you want to learn more about it and how you can help, then check out my Patreon page. It's patreon.com/veryunofficial. As always, you can follow me on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter, and check back next week where I'm going to be showing you around America's roller coast, Cedar Point. See you then. Like, so bad that you need to... I think I'll wait for these church bells. I'm back.